propositions, the value that you provide for them, and put it on the canvas. Why do you bring value to that one client or your employer? How do you do that? Or the channel, how it's delivered. How do you maintain that relationship? You go to work every day, of course. You maintain a relationship with your boss, with people that you work with. What resources do you bring to the table? What talents or skills or knowledge or discipline do you bring to the table? How do you implement that? What activities do you do? And what key relationships do you develop? In business, we call it key partnerships. And it can be the same for individually in the business as well, too. A key partnership. And also, what does it cost to be in that environment? And what are they paying you? The revenue. The difference is your profits. So we look at putting together a canvas that makes sense for you and drawing it out in a way that has 9 different components to it, applying notes to them. Very simplistic. Because, as you see, notes can be removed. Just like ideas fluctuate very quickly. They can be removed from a different segment to another segment. An example of that is you might have a partner or that you develop a relationship that would help you in your endeavors. That partner may very well turn out to become a customer. So there's some things that fluctuate. Or you may have a resource that you want to develop, like a website, or a resume, or a blog, or all different kind of components, an activity that you want to do. And once it's done, it becomes a way that you maintain relationships. So you can move that around. So a sticky note allows you to move that around. Electronically now we can do that in a way that we can move this and shift it around the way you need to. Likewise, this allows you to describe your organization and yourself, not only to yourself, but to others, in a way that it becomes a lot clearer. This is the business model U canvas, with all the 9 different components, with the ability to have at one glance the ability to capture the essence of who you are, what you're doing, what your value is, how you deliver it, what your resources are, your relationships, what your costs are, what your revenue is in one snapshot, so that you answer these questions. As a customer, who are you helping? And if you're helping, how do you help? That's the value proposition. And if you're figure out how you're helping, how do they know how you're delivering? And if that's the case, how do you interact with them? And you want to determine in the resources who you are, what you have, and what perhaps you're becoming. And what is it exactly that you do? And who else is helping you as a partnership? And what is it that you give to them? Whether it's in cost, transportation, materials, all those different things. And what do you get? What do you receive? Is it a salary? Is it commissions? Is it accommodation? So consider this when it's filled out with a business model like this. Putting in and answering those questions on a quick sticky pad, putting it in the right allocation, and then stepping back and looking at that. Now you can do that individually, but here's where the nugget of information comes in. Ben, what you're able to do is take this canvas and share it with a mentor, or coach, or somebody that's an associate or your team member, and continually step back and look at that canvas. And what I like to say is, what you're looking for is the gaps. You're looking for the white spaces. You're looking for what is not there, so that when you step into that, you say, aha, this becomes very clear to me. Let me give you an example of that. Very clearly, one of my associates that I'm working with, we spoke twice. The first time we spoke for 45 minutes to an hour. We continued the next week because we weren't quite clear what was going on. And then we spoke again that second time for half an hour. Then we said, Paul, let's just put this on a canvas. We put this on a canvas, all our thoughts, all our ideas, and stepping back, we looked at it and came up with a solution, or at least a strategy to go forward that we would not have known or seen or heard before in an hour and a half that we had together. In 15 minutes, in essence, you could say that we condensed an hour and a half of talk. Magical? No. It's very process-oriented, very simple, very straightforward. Look for the white space, look for what's not there, look for the gaps. You also want to reflect after that's put together. Now, I have clients who are going in different stages, and once we put it together, we reflect, we step back and look at it. Let me give you an example, Cynthia. Right now, we have a canvas that I'm working with one of my clients, and we put it on that we're all able to collaborate online, so they can get on there anytime they want. We have a weekly meeting, we connect, we look at what's there, what needs to be addressed, because, see, their challenge is they want to grow to a $10 million company. And where they're at, it's not quite there. So either we stretch the years out, or we lessen the amount, or we go out of business. Two of those are not worthwhile. Maybe go three. So what we do is we reflect, and the keys and nuggets of information and ideas don't usually come when we're forced to do that. Much like humor. You want to be funny? Don't force yourself. But it comes at a time that you least expect it. I like to say that sometimes I get like nuggets of information when I go running. I go, oh, I gotta capture this. And I do. Take out my phone, put it in, that's an idea. Taking a shower, you probably heard some people. Oh, you have a pen and paper in the shower. You better have a good memory. But I get those nuggets of information. But now what we're able to do as a team member, as a business, or as an individual, say, oh, I got a nugget of information. I'm working with my team members. I'll go online, plug it in on my canvas, because I reflected it's a great idea, and now I'm able to put some input before I forget it, contributing. So when we look at the business model of you might look at different things of that comprises all of us. Who's heard of the Wheel of Life? The Wheel of Life. The Wheel of Life maybe is comprised of this, where you may have multiple things. Either your relationships, which love, fun, recreation, career, friends, family, fitness, wealth, money, creativity. All of these comprise you. And to be able to balance all of this from a white space, giving it a purpose, and then going onto canvas, and that's what we're talking about. Once we have that reflection and inputting that, we want to revise it. We want to make sure that there's adjustments that go on. There may be some areas that we need to cross out that didn't apply. Or if you talk to a company like Kodak, who, by the way, is considering bankruptcy, who at one point invented the Instamatic, who at one point invented the digital camera, wouldn't you think, thinking back as a Monday quarterback, looking back and say, shouldn't they have thought about it? They invented the digital camera. Shouldn't they have at least thought that maybe that's where they should go? And shouldn't you think that they had a business model that said, let's think about this forward thinking, but you know what they did is they said, no, let's keep the revenues coming in. We'll crush the digital camera, suppress it, because we don't want to impact the revenues from the other company. And short-sighted thinking allowed them to now, at this stage, be a company that's worth less than $100 million, a business of that size. And another company comes along that's called Instaprint, 2 years in development, with about 20 people in their company. They're worth 10 times the amount of Kodak, who's been around for decades. Why? Because they're in the digital camera imprint business. Different model that could have easily have been Kodak. So look at the models, look at how to reinvent yourself, and then take action. Because it's in the action that Kodak failed. Because they knew it's coming, but somebody suppressed it. They didn't take action because of fear, or because of other things that I may not even know, or you may not even know. But the fact of the matter is, in the end, they're going to be a smaller company, if at all, that they exist. Whereas another company that remodeled their business or remodel the industry, let's consider Apple, as opposed to Microsoft. Now, Microsoft is the 90s, Apple's now the 2010s. So you're looking at taking action, and Action certainly takes a collaboration of people. It allows us to look at multiple ways of approaching it, having discussions, having the ability to have creativity, and in the end be able to have a focus and taking action for doing just exactly what was planned out. Bonus or extras? There's really no bonuses or extras unless you take action. Because I presented to you something that's revolutionary for companies and even revolutionary for you, a business model you, if you will. And with that, you can take action by participating or finding out a little bit more. And so I invite you to participate and join me, if you will, on what I call ProfitVisions.com, the ability for you to come in, find out some more information about how you can not only get clarity and focus and accountability by taking action, not only in your business, but only in the business model you. Mr. Tussman.